The Blind Side by Michael Lewis. This nonfiction book is perfect for grade 9 read aloud and as a teacher resource. Michael Orr's career as a football player wasn't a sure thing. There was no such thing in football as a sure thing, but his odds in life had changed dramatically. In just the past 3 years, he had encountered countless threats to his future that might have put an end to it had he remained socially unconnected to white people. Illiteracy, bad grades, car crashes, a night with the Memphis police, an NCAA investigation, and men in the street who offered to become his agent. Any of these might have sent him right back to the prison of his past. It was part of being hopelessly poor that events conspired to keep you poor. If it wasn't one thing, it was another. That cycle, in Michael's case, had been broken. He was like a quarterback who had gone from playing in an unimaginative offense, incapable of making him look good, to playing in an offense designed by Bill Walsh.
There's an instant before it collapses into some generally agreed upon fact, when a life, like a football play, is all conjecture and fragments and partial views. Everyone wants to know the whole truth, but no one possesses it. But Michael Orr already had collapsed into a generally agreed upon fact. He was a success. The world that had once taken no notice of Michael Orr was now so invested in him that it couldn't afford to see him fail. Of course, he wasn't the first black kid to rise from poverty and make it in the white world. But Michael was different, because the white world had so unusually aided and abetted his rise. The white world had watched Michael Orr happen, or they thought they had, and so could imagine how he might be replicated. He haunted that world.
People note outcomes and reason backward from them. Michael noted his outcome and concluded that his life was always going to work out. He refused to believe there was ever the faintest possibility that he was going to be anything other than a huge success. He had set out to become Michael Jordan, and he was fulfilling that destiny in his way. "I was always going to college," he said. "I guess I thought that if things didn't work out in the NBA, I'd have the NFL as my backup." If he didn't give a lot of credit to others for having changed his life, if he didn't feel that he owed much to many, it was in part because he didn't really believe he had changed. "I'm the same way I've always been," he said. "I'm exactly the same guy I was back in Hurt Village. The only thing that's changed for me is the environment." The change in environment was no small thing, and it took the help of many people, Big Tony, the Briarcrest teachers, the families that had housed him, for him to function in the new environment. Still, when Michael thought about who he wanted to help, if he had the power to help, the only person he could think of was Craig. In addition to our read aloud, we had a discussion question that we wanted to share with the class. The question states, Michael Orr's success story was made possible in part because he had a talent for playing football. What if this talent had been for playing piano or cooking or building furniture? Would he still have been able to rise out of poverty? Why or why not? Do disadvantaged kids who are good at sports have more opportunities than kids who don't? And if yes, is that fair? Or just fortunate?